What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone, and welcome back to a new daily news video because we are approaching a key stage in this season, and there's a lot of talk from ex-players, ex-coaches, ex-whatever Juventinos call it, talking about the Juve DNA is finally back, and all shitting on Motta. And this is not about Motta, but this is about the Juve DNA is not back. It's not because we have an ex-player in charge that the DNA is back, because the DNA of this club is winning. We are not winning. We are not close to winning. And until that's not the case, the DNA of this club is not back. And it's time, and in my opinion, for everybody to set the standards at a high level. And the level is winning. That's the DNA of this club, not ex-players, not fancy quotes. And again, that's not me shitting on Tudor or whatever, or calling Tudor out. But it's about ex-players and ex-whatever Juventinos all chipping in right now when they were quiet years ago when we were shit, when we were losing. Was the Juve DNA back then? Because nobody was questioning the DNA back then. They were only questioning it now, the last 8 months. But the last 3-4 years, it was all okay. No DNA talk. And now every single day, it's about the DNA is back, the DNA is back. The DNA is not back. Until we are not winning, there's no Juve DNA. Before we get into it, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, bell notification, put that on as well, and let's go. Okay, so like I said, there's nothing against Tudor because he understands the club probably. However, the club he understands was winning. That was the DNA of the club, winning. When ex-players come out, Pjanic, and actually the list goes on, ex-coaches as well, and they're talking about winning. I'm like, you have been part of a winning DNA. Pjanic, for example. I'll take Pjanic because he was speaking, and say now it's the DNA is finally back. You were part of the Juve DNA of winning. The DNA of this club is winning. Nothing else. I don't want to hear fancy quotes, fancy words, good pressers, bad pressers, because Tudor's presser was good, his first one, when he got announced. However, if that doesn't result in winning at the end of the day, I don't know how long he's going to be here, it's all irrelevant. So when Pjanic comes out and says the DNA is finally back of this club, I'm like, how can you say that when you were part of the DNA of this club and it was winning? Does anyone believe we're close to winning again? And not winning games, winning trophies. Not the Coppa Italia, not the Supercoppa, but the Scudetto. And get back there, up there in Europe, excuse me. That's the DNA of this club. I would actually be very annoyed if everybody runs with a story about the DNA of this club is back. No, it might be back. We might have a person in charge who knows how to bring it back, but we cannot rest. We cannot, sit down and be like, it's back right now, because it's not back. It's not until we are not winning again and we're dominant and we're one of the best teams out there. The DNA of this club is not back. It's actually gone. Right now, there's no DNA from winning on the pitch to the way we act as a club. Maybe that's a start, the way we act, on the pitch, off the pitch. Maybe that's a start. Maybe that's something Tudor can bring in, But right now, to go out there and say, now it's back, it feels more about you are just chipping in on what Motta did, and you all want to, be back right now because, I don't know, Tudor is there. But 3 years back, Pjanic, for example, was not talking about the Juve DNA when we had a coach, Allegri in charge, who knew the Juve DNA, who knew what the DNA of this club was, winning. However, we were not winning. We were not close to winning, but he was quiet all that time. And now it's the Juve DNA is back. How? Like, come on. Let's raise the standards a little bit, Let's hold the club accountable to the standards they themselves set in the past for 100 years, over 100 years right now. It's about winning. At the end of the day, like, even how we do it, it's winning. If you win trophies, that's it. That's the only, you can play attacking football, defending football. At the end of the day, It's about winning a trophy. If you play fancy football and you don't win a trophy, it's pointless. If you've played defensive football and you don't win a trophy, it's pointless. It's not part of the Juve DNA. You will not be part of the Juve history. Like, let's be completely honest. Nobody who hasn't won stuff, significant stuff, important stuff, is part of the Juve history or the Juve DNA. We will not show, like, if this group of players, let's say we keep the same group of players and we finish third, second, because Pjanic said the Juve DNA is back, and we do that for 4 years or 5 years, nobody's going to remember these players. Nobody's going to speak on these players for years to come because they have done nothing significant. That's the DNA. The DNA of this club is winning. All the players we talk about, they won. Like, look, the players we talk about on a daily basis when we do live streams or just in personal life. You know, you can go back. Buffon, Chiellini, Del Piero, even Tevez, for example. A lot of people like him. Dybala, like, those are players who have won stuff. That's the DNA of this club. If we do this for the next 2-3 years, because apparently the Juve DNA is back, you know, it's back. This is the DNA of the club, according to Pjanic, for example. If we do the same for 2-3 years, and 20 years from now, I like certain players in this team. Not a lot of them, but I'm not going to talk about Thuram or Yulis. If you have won nothing for this club, if you have not actually participate in the DNA of this club, then it's irrelevant. Like, you're not the DNA of this club. And again, this is not just the coach and the players. This goes from the top, because it starts at the top always. If the top is not focused on restoring the DNA, meaning winning, then the coach, the players are not going to win. And the fans will obviously not win. So it needs to start at the top. So just bringing in Tudor doesn't mean the DNA is back. The mindset maybe he knows what the DNA of this club is, and maybe he can try to install that. However, until we don't win stuff, until we have not, gone out there and actually won stuff, a Scudetto, go back into Europe consistently, be feared again, because it was not so long ago, like, I don't know, 8 years ago, people didn't want to play us in Europe. Now, everybody wants to play us. Bruges wants to play us. Villarreal, Lyon, every team wants to play us in Europe. That's not DNA. That's insane. Like, we play Empoli at home. They want to play us. Like, these little teams, they want to play us. So the Juve DNA is not back. Until I don't see these players hold up the trophy, it's not back. I cannot co-sign that one bit. We might be back to restoring it, but until I've seen it, proof, winning, evidence, it's not back. That being said, Tudor might be the right guy because he knows it, but so did Allegri, because he was part of it and he couldn't manage to get us even close or make us even believe or trick us into believing that we are back to becoming a winning club with the winning DNA. And he knew that. So just to say that, I think is crazy in my opinion. Anyways, let me know in the comments what you think. Do you think the DNA is back? What is the DNA of this club? But for me, it's winning. That's it. It's the only thing that matters. That's literally the phrase that's been stitched into the jerseys. You know, that's the phrase of this club. It's the only thing that matters is winning. And as long as we're not doing that, there's no DNA back. Anyways, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will speak to you guys tomorrow because we are going to play Roma on Sunday, and that's a make or break game. Ciao.